Welcome to The Deep Read, the podcast where we dive beneath the surface of the stories that move us. We are going to explore the books, ideas, and stories that spark curiosity and connection. Whether you're a seasoned bookworm or just love a good conversation, you're in the right place. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's turn the page together. And now, let's move to our lovely hosts, Emily and Mike.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we're going to be exploring All Fours,
Okay.
which is a novel by the amazing Miranda July.
Yes.
Have you read this one?
I have, yeah. It's such a quirky book.
It really is.
Yeah.
I always find her work so interesting because it's like she takes these very intimate moments, but they're from everyday life, and she kind of twists them into these unexpected
Yes.
narratives and outcomes, and like it's fascinating to read.
Well, she's so good at capturing like the awkwardness
Yes.
of like human interaction.
Exactly.
And how we kind of stumble through life
Yeah.
trying to connect with each other and failing and succeeding.
Yeah, and you never really know what you're going to get,
Right. Exactly.
which is kind of exciting too.
Yeah, it definitely keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess, like with her style of writing, like,
Yeah.
would you classify it as like strictly contemporary fiction or?
I mean, it's definitely contemporary fiction,
Okay.
but it's got that element of humor and surrealism.
It makes it kind of hard to pin down.
Yeah, it's definitely got its own unique flavor.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about All Fours, like specifically.
Okay.
So we meet this woman, right? And we don't know her name.
Unnamed protagonist.
Unnamed protagonist. Yeah. So that's interesting right away.
Yeah.
We're kind of like dropped into her world and she's going through.
A bit of a midlife crisis, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And she
Makes some questionable decisions.
makes some questionable decisions.
Goes on a sudden road trip across the country.
Yeah. That's like,
You
she's
bet.
clearly searching for something,
Yeah.
right?
She's restless.
Restless. Exactly.
And, I mean, one of the things that kind of struck me right away was her relationship with Davy,
Okay. Yeah.
this much younger man that she meets at a Hertz car rental.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're already
Yeah.
like pushing the boundaries a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, you might think, oh,
Yeah.
here we go, another cliche,
Right.
like older woman, younger man, love affair.
Yeah.
But it's not that simple.
July takes it in a completely different direction.
Okay, intriguing.
Yeah.
So what is it about her relationship with Davy that's...
Well, there's this power imbalance, obviously.
Okay.
And she's grappling with that.
Right.
Like, is she taking advantage of him?
Mm.
Is he taking advantage of her?
Right.
What are the consequences of this?
Yeah, what are they both getting out of this?
Right. Exactly. And then there's the fact that they're just such different people.
Okay, how so?
He's kind of carefree and naive.
Right.
She's more like burdened by all this like emotional baggage.
Right.
And you see these two personalities kind of clashing and interacting.
Yeah.
And it's fascinaning to watch.
Yeah, and it's like he's almost this escape for her in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he represents this freedom
Mm-hmm.
from all the work of her life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So there's this motel room makeover that she does
Yes.
that really kind of stood out to me in the book.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of that? Like, what is...
I think it's brilliant symbolism. It's like her life is feeling so chaotic and out of control.
Okay.
And here's this one space, this motel room where
Right.
she can like exert some agency,
Mhm.
create something beautiful amidst all the mess.
Okay.
And I think it speaks to this like universal human desire for
Yeah.
order,
Right.
for a sense of control.
Especially when, like you said, everything else feels like it's spinning.
Exactly. Yeah, like she's trying to create a little haven for herself
Yeah.
in this like temporary space.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like that motel room, it's kind of like a microcosm of her life in a way.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
this temporary space.
Yeah.
She's trying to make it her own,
Mm-hmm.
but she knows she can't stay there forever.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on top of all of this, she has this relationship with her husband, Harris,
Oh, yeah.
which is like a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a whole other layer
A whole other layer. Yeah.
of complexity.
They're so distant, they can't communicate.
Right.
And there's this like palpable tension.
It's almost painful to witness
Right.
their disconnect.
Yeah.
You can feel the weight of their unspoken resentments.
Yes, exactly.
The years of accumulated hurt
Yeah.
that have built up between them.
Like that baggage that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and it's a reminder of how easily we can drift apart
Yeah.
from the people we love,
Yeah.
how those small cracks in communication
Right.
can widen into like chasms over time.
It's almost like they're living these parallel lives
Yeah.
under the same roof.
Yeah, and they're both kind of complicit in it.
Right.
You know, it's not like one person is entirely to blame.
It's almost like they're afraid
Mm-hmm.
to actually confront what's
Yeah.
going on.
To have that difficult conversation
Right.
that they need to have.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that yearning,
Oh, absolutely.
that sense of being adrift
Mhm.
in your own life?
Yeah.
Like you're searching for something, but you don't even know
Totally.
what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what drew me to this protagonist
Mm.
so much is she's flawed, she makes mistakes,
Yeah.
but there's something so relatable
Mm-hmm.
about her.
She's human.
She's human, yeah. And she's like desperately
Yeah.
longing for connection,
For something more.
for something more.
Yeah, and she's not afraid to explore those desires,
Right.
even if they lead her down unconventional paths.
Like with Davy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that relationship
Yeah.
is definitely pushing against societal norms.
Totally.
What a woman her age should be doing.
It really makes you question those boundaries
Yeah.
that we create for ourselves.
What are those boundaries?
Right.
And are they serving us or are they holding us back?
Yeah. Are they holding us back from like truly experiencing life?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then there's Audra,
Oh, yeah.
a friend of Davy's mother.
This brings a whole other layer
I know, right?
of complexity to the story.
It's like out of left field,
Yeah.
but it works.
It does, yeah.
So how would you describe their connection?
It's unexpected,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Okay.
And I think it really challenges the protagonist's assumptions
Okay.
about older women.
About desire.
Yeah,
Got it.
about the different forms that relationships can take.
Yeah.
You know, she's got these preconceived notions.
Right.
And Audra kind of blows them all up.
Yeah. It's like she's forcing her to confront her
Mm.
own biases.
Yeah, and her own limitations.
Okay.
You know, like she's so focused on what she thinks she should be doing
Right.
that she's not open to the possibilities
Yeah. Other possibilities. Yeah.
that are right in front of her.
And I think that's one of the things that July does so well.
Mm-hmm.
Is she takes these characters
Yeah.
who seem like they come from completely different worlds.
Yeah.
And she finds these moments of genuine connection
Right.
between them.
Like she's reminding us that we're all more alike
Yeah.
than we think.
Yeah.
We all share these fundamental human desires
Yeah. What are those?
for love, acceptance, understanding.
Yeah. And that's what makes the book so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
is that it's not just about the plot.
Right.
It's about these like deeper human truths.
It's about the human condition.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
about what it means to be alive.
Yeah, and to connect with other people.
Yeah, even in the midst of all the messiness.
Even in the midst of all the messiness, exactly.
It's through those connections that she starts to see herself in a new light.
Okay.
There's this one scene where she describes herself
Mhm.
as feeling like a kaleidoscope
Oh, wow.
with all these different facets to her personality.
Yeah, that's such a great image
It is.
because it speaks to that struggle
Mhm.
that we all have with trying to like
Fit ourselves into boxes.
fit ourselves into boxes.
Yeah,
Yes.
present like a singular
Yeah.
version of ourselves to the world.
Right. And July is kind of like challenging that.
Yeah, she's saying like, hey,
Yeah.
we're all multifaceted.
Yeah.
We can be strong and vulnerable,
Right.
confident and insecure all at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Davy a little bit more.
Okay.
So he's this younger guy,
Yeah.
seemingly carefree, naive,
Mm-hmm.
working at Hertz.
Yeah.
But there's also this sweetness to him,
Yeah.
this sincerity
Yeah.
that makes you wonder if he's more complex than he
Yeah.
appears.
He's not just like a cardboard cutout of
Yeah.
a young guy.
Okay.
There's an earnestness to him.
Okay.
That's really intriguing.
And how does that play out?
Well, she's grappling with all these
Mhm.
heavy emotions, these questions about her life.
Okay.
And he represents this kind of escape for her,
Right.
a chance to shed all those burdens
Mhm.
and just be in the moment.
Yeah, like these breath of fresh air
Exactly.
in her otherwise kind of like
Suffocating.
suffocating existence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So their relationship is obviously unconventional.
Yeah, very unconventional.
But it forces us to confront our own assumptions about what makes a real connection.
Right. Like, what are we looking for
Right.
in our relationships?
Is it physical intimacy,
Is it emotional depth?
shared experiences?
Right. What are those ingredients?
Right. And July doesn't give us the answers.
No, she doesn't.
She just poses the questions.
Yeah, she's more interested in prompting us
Mhm.
to examine our own beliefs
Okay.
about love,
Mhm.
desire,
Yeah.
the nature of relationships.
And maybe to challenge those
Exactly.
societal norms.
Those boundaries that we create that
Mhm.
might actually be limiting our
I mean,
capacity for connection.
And there's this whole other layer of deception happening, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because she's telling her husband she's in New York,
Right.
but she's actually holed up in this motel room with Davy.
Yeah, she's living a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that complicate things?
Well, it adds this element of secrecy
Okay.
that makes you question, like, the lies that we tell,
Mm-hmm.
both to ourselves and to others.
Okay.
Are they always malicious?
Right.
Or can they sometimes be a form of self-preservation,
Okay.
a way to protect ourselves from harsh realities?
It's almost like she's compartmentalizing her life.
Yeah, trying to keep these different parts of herself separate.
But eventually those compartments start to break down.
Exactly, the lines blur.
Right.
And she's forced to confront the consequences.
Of her choices.
Yeah, her actions.
So the ending of All Fours,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty powerful.
It is.
It's like it leaves you with this sense of hope,
Yeah.
but also this lingering question.
Right, like, has she truly changed?
Right.
Or is she just running away from her problems?
Exactly. And I love that July doesn't give us a neat resolution.
No, she doesn't.
It's up to the reader
to decide.
to decide what it all means.
Yeah, what lessons the protagonist has learned.
Yeah, it's a reminder that life is messy.
Messy, unpredictable.
Yeah.
There's rarely a clear-cut resolution.
Yeah.
It's about the journey,
Yeah.
not the destination.
And it's about those subtle shifts
Mm-hmm.
in perspective.
Those small acts of defiance
Yeah.
that can lead to profound personal growth.
One of my favorite quotes from the book
Okay?
is she says, "Really, I had done almost nothing to end up here. I had walked the wrong way around the block and then gone the wrong direction on the freeway."
It's such a great line
It is.
because it speaks to this feeling
Yeah.
of being both in control and completely out of control
Yes.
of our own destinies.
It's like we make these small decisions.
Yeah, these seemingly insignificant choices.
And they can have these huge ripple effects.
And sometimes those detours, those
Yeah.
wrong turns, lead us exactly where we need to be.
even if it's not where we expected to end up.
Exactly.
So All Fours, it's a reminder that there's beauty in the unexpected.
Yeah, embrace the messiness.
Embrace the messiness.
Growth often comes from discomfort
Mm-hmm.
and embracing our own imperfection.
Not contradictions.
Yeah, what makes us human?
What makes us human?
It's a book that will resonate with anyone
I think so too.
who's ever felt lost or uncertain.
Or yearning for something more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a testament to July's talent for capturing the nuances
Mm.
of human experience.
With humor, honesty,
Yeah.
and a touch of the surreal.
So what does this all mean for you? We've talked about like all these different things with All Fours.
Mm-hmm.
The protagonist, her journey, her choices,
Mm-hmm.
the relationships.
Yeah.
But what resonates with you? What did you take away?
I think for me, it's that idea that embracing discomfort can actually be the key to personal growth.
Okay, so like how does that play out in the book?
Well, the protagonist, she's constantly pushing herself outside of her comfort zone,
Okay.
making these unconventional choices.
Right.
And it's through those experiences
Mhm.
that she really starts to learn and grow.
It's like she's saying, hey, all those societal norms, those expectations
Yeah.
that we put on ourselves,
Mhm.
what if we just let go of them and see what happens?
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful message, especially in today's world.
Because we're so bombarded with pressure to conform.
Yeah, to fit in, to achieve a certain standard
Right.
of success or happiness.
And All Fours is kind of like a reminder that
Yeah.
we don't have to play by those rules.
We can make our own rules.
We can make our own rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, in fact, it's often in those moments of like breaking the rules
Right?
that we discover who we really are.
Or like with that motif of two no's make a yes.
Yes, exactly.
Like she's rejecting those limiting beliefs
those internalized no's
Yeah.
that are holding her back.
and opening herself up to new possibilities.
Exactly. And it's not always easy.
Right.
It can be messy, it can be uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but it's in that space of discomfort
Yeah.
that we often find the most growth.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into All Fours,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with this question. What two no's are you holding on to?
What societal norms or expectations
Are you clinging to that might be holding you back?
from fully embracing your potential
What would it look like to say yes?
to the unconventional?
To the messy, to the unknown?
What possibilities might open up?
Yeah. It's something to think about for sure.
Definitely food for thought.
Well, this has been another great deep dive.
It has.
I always enjoy talking to you about books like this
Me
that
too.
really make us think.
Yeah. Challenge our assumptions.
Yeah. And maybe even inspire us
To embrace the messiness of life.
to embrace the messiness of life. Exactly. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
That's all for today's episode of The Deep Read. Thank you for joining us on this journey through stories and ideas. We hope it sparks some inspiration and curiosity. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment, share your thoughts, or let us know what books you'd like us to explore next. And if you know someone who would love The Deep Read, feel free to share it with them. Until next time, keep reading deeply, and we'll see you soon.